Hi, I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of Regalytics. Welcome to this week's Regulatory Roundup. The regulator of the week is NASDAQ, and I honestly can't believe it. I mean, I thought because the SEC had been punting and waiting for more comments, and Europe is actually behind us in board diversity, I really didn't expect the SEC to approve NASDAQ's board diversity rules so quickly, and also in August. So we're just going to have to take a moment to unpack what just happened. So under the board diversity proposal, NASDAQ is getting three things. First, every company that is listed with NASDAQ must publicly disclose board diversity. And so what does that mean? That means the voluntary self-identified gender and racial characteristics and LGBTQ plus status of the board of directors. So basically the actual people, if they're willing to say what they are, then the company has to report it in order to be listed. The second part is that if a company does not have at least 2 members of its board of directors who are diverse, including at least 1 director who self-identifies as female and at least 1 director who self-identifies as an underrepresented minority or LGBTQ+. And then finally, as part of the rule, the piece is that the NASDAQ will be providing all of their companies that are listed with them 1 year of complimentary access for 2 users to a board recruiting service, which would provide access to a network of board-ready, diverse candidates for companies to identify and evaluate. Either way, this is truly remarkable, but keep in mind NASDAQ is not the only exchange, and while this certainly may cause some companies to list elsewhere, in the same breath, I think their index, based on the current calculations on the value of diverse board, it's going to be really strong because of it. First of all, it passed. So where is the $1 trillion going? Everywhere. Go read it. But a fun fact is that the White House issued an alert about 10 areas that you probably have not heard about where the money's going. And I thought these were interesting. Weatherization, wildfires, floods, brownfields and Superfund sites, natural gas wells and coal mines, pipeline safety, safe streets, battery manufacturing, transit station ADA programs, and cybersecurity. And on a similar topic, and only because I have never seen it before, FEMA announced nearly $5 billion in funding for disaster preparation, like pre-disaster money. Usually FEMA is all about money when the disaster hits, so I thought this was pretty interesting, especially since it came out before the infrastructure deal closed. For my crypto people, the SEC busted Poloniux, which was once a really popular crypto trading platform in the US. They were busted $10 million to settle charges for operating in an unregistered online digital asset exchange. But what is sort of BS about it, and what my hero Hester Peirce, who, even though she doesn't agree with the NASDAQ rule, is still everybody's favorite crypto regulator. But she pointed out that during the time that this exchange was operating in the United States, the SEC was being very delicate and not super clear about crypto. And so, yeah, they could have registered, but it wasn't really clearly required at the time. So anyway, hey, regulators need to make money too. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this one does get appealed, but it is going to be interesting to watch nonetheless. In more boring big bank compliance news, the Fed came out with all of the individual capital requirements for all large banks effective October 1st. And why should you care if you have no idea what I'm talking about? Well, this is how much money each bank is required to put under their mattress to be safe in case there's another crisis. So that also tells you how limited a bank will be in the coming year to do stuff compared to the other big ones. I mean, it really does actually list the name of the bank and what their buffer percent needs to be based on what regulators saw when they looked at the stress tests of the banks. And finally, Delaware is the next state to announce its participation in the National Association of Insurance Commissioners' Insurer Climate Risk Disclosure Survey, which is an effort to assess how the impacts of climate change will reverberate across the insurance industry. So that's it this week for Regalytics US Alerts. Join me every week on Wednesday on LinkedIn and YouTube.